So basically, black fungus is it's a kind of fungus which is predominantly known as mucormycosis, which has multiple fungal organism which is labeled into one particular subset of mucormycosis. It has many other fungus inside it, but it is broadly classified as mucormycosis. Every surface, every environment has that kind of fungus. Normally, in a normal healthy individual, you never have this kind of infection because your body immunity is good enough to prevent such kind of infections. Only when your body immunity is compromised is the time that you can have this kind of infection. Most commonly, this infection is generally in the rhinocerebral area, that is the nose area, sinuses, the eyes, and the brain. That is the most common site of infection. And the second site of infection, which is very common, is the lung infection. Basically, mucormycosis is the spores. It is a fungus basically. It's a spore which is there everywhere in the environment. Normally, also when you're walking, you are doing any kind of activity, you're constantly inhaling the spores of the organism. But that spores, because your body immunity is intact, it generally washes away, and it discards those spores, and your body immunity is good enough to handle those kind of spores of the fungus. And predominantly is found in environment which is moldy, in the sense that it is wet kind of structure in the soil, like all those kind of gardens and wet moisture which is there. That is an area where it is predominantly seen. Even in construction areas, one of the primary reasons why in a lot of the places which are having a lot of construction have a lot of moisture around them. So that is the areas also where you find a lot of fungal spores. So how does it acquire is when a person who is immunocompromised, that is whether it is a diabetic or patient is on steroids or patient is receiving any kind of immunosuppressive therapy, he or she inhales the spores of the fungus. So what happens is they go inside the nose, and from there, if you have good immunity, your body will throw it off. If you don't have that good immunity, what will happen is that it will start spreading inside the body. The entry route is generally the nose, so it will start generally spreading into the nose, the sinuses, it spreads into the lungs because it is direct entry from the air into the lungs. If the fungus starts growing further and if it's undetected and untreated, what will happen is it keep on spreading and it breaks into the bony structures of the brain, and it ultimately involves the brain also. We used to see very very rarely this kind of infection, predominantly because it is very rarely found in the environment per se only. And post COVID, what has happened is a lot of the patients have been receiving this kind of immunosuppressive therapy, and it is very rampantly used, the immunosuppressive therapy, that is predominantly the steroids. The trial, that is the recovery trial, which said that we have to use steroids very sparingly, and in particular substances only. Individuals where you have severe disease, patient is on the ventilator, high flow oxygen, is that the time that the steroids do work. But there has been a lot of abuse of steroids, in particular in India, I would say, and the amount and duration of steroids has been very very haphazard. So that is one of the prime reasons why the body immunity has been compromised, and it has led to such disastrous consequences. Basically, so mucormycosis, the first and foremost indication right now is going to be a patient who has recovered from COVID, patient who is actively under COVID, or patient who has recovered from COVID. That is the first and foremost right now that we look into it. Patients will present at symptoms which are very, very varied, but predominantly the symptoms is going to be something around related to the nose. That is going to be stuffiness in the nose, lot of rhinitis, lot of bloody nasal discharge. The patient will have pain over the sinus region. Those are the areas where patient will feel a lot of pain. Patient might have blurring of vision. Patient might have numbness of the face because it involves the facial nerve. So patient can have lack of sensation over the face also. Patient might have redness of the eye, lot of headache, severe headache, fever. Those are the patients which you try suspecting that this can be a potential case of mucormycosis. Again, the incidence of mucormycosis is very very rare, but still, I mean, if you detect it early, it is definitely very much curable. So you have to start picking up the small signs of mucormycosis in a patient who is immunocompromised. Not every patient will start suspecting. A patient who is immunocompromised, that is predominantly uncontrolled diabetes. It has not been found very routinely in patients apart from diabetic. Yes, it can be found in I mean, any kind of patients who have undergone transplant, who are on immunosuppressive therapy. A normal healthy individual prior to COVID is very, very unlikely to develop signs and symptoms of mucormycosis. Though there has been isolated case reports, but it is very, very negligible. It's too early to count about the mortality from COVID-19 disease associated with mucormycosis. We have the data prior to COVID-19. We used to see mucormycosis cases. The mortality is, almost ranging from 40 to 70%. That is, I mean, almost one in two patients would die because of mucormycosis. It's a very, very aggressive disease. If you don't pick it up early, what will happen is it spreads rapidly, and by the time you detect it, it is already spread so much that even if you do all kind of aggressive maneuvers, you would not be able to save the life of a patient. Treatment protocol, first and foremost, it's an infection where you have to remove all kind of tissues aggressively wherever it is involved, whether it is the nose, the sinuses, the brain, the eyes, wherever it is. The first and foremost step is going to be aggressive removal. That can be devastating for a patient. Mind you, when you're talking about a nose, you have to remove the entire nose palates and kind of nose completely. If it's in the sinus, you need to debride the sinus. If it's in the jaw, you have to completely remove the jaw. Eyes, if it involving the eyes, you have to remove the eye completely. You have to do a big surgery on the brain. It can be very, very disfiguring, but that is unfortunately how the treatment is. The earlier you pick it up, lesser the damage and lesser the organ sacrifice you have to do. Later you pick up, more the organ sacrifice happens.